Hello, how are you today? I want to discuss challenging behaviors displayed by teenagers. These can be defined as repeated pattern of behaviors which interferes with or is at risk of interfering with child's optimal learning or engagement. That is, the child will continue to misbehave when interacting with adults and with peers. And these challenging behaviors is noticed among teenagers, which parents can help their teens to cope with this challenging behavior. But before then, I would like to discuss what causes challenging behaviors among teenagers. Parents, I hope you are listening. There's something I want you to understand. As teenagers mature, they are presented with new experiences. The way teenagers' brain develop means they feel emotions very intensely and they often do not have or they often do not yet have adequate coping tools to deal with feelings. As a result, teenagers can often be very sensitive. They are self-conscious and experience a range of emotions that at times can be so overwhelming. These feelings are then often expressed by being argumentative or disrespectful towards others. So, when looking at challenging behaviors in teenagers, it is important to consider their current situation. Parents need to understand, adults need to understand how this current situation might affect them, and some other important factors that have impact on their behaviors includes one, lack of sleep, poor diet, that's the second one. The third one is too much screen time, that is watching TV or pressing their phone. And the last one is mental health. So parents, try to understand your teenagers. Adults, try to understand your teenagers. Show them love and care. How can parents help their teenagers with challenging behaviors? There are a number of strategies that can be used to help combat challenging behaviors that emerge during adolescence. The first one is positive relationships. Parents, caregivers, you can help your teenagers build resilience and develop coping skills to overcome difficult situations. Having strong positive relationships and spending time with your child is key to building resilience. You can promote positive behaviors in your teenagers. How? I'll mention now. The first one is you need to encourage healthy habits in diet. You need to do exercises and sleep adequate. That is telling your teenagers that. Another one is you need to listen, be practical, show concern, be compassionate. Allow your teenagers to talk. Do not interrupt them. Let them talk. The third point is problem solving together. That is, you and your teenagers should talk together. Ask them if they would like to hear your own opinion or advice before you give them advice. The fourth point is show interest in what is happening in their life. And when they do good things, celebrate them. Be happy with them. The fifth one is encouraging talking about emotions or problems and checking in to make sure there is nothing they are particularly stressed or worried about. This shows you love them. Parents, help your teenagers by spending time with them. Go for party or one-on-one discussion, family get together. But I want to tell you, parents, if you find it difficult to have a positive relationship with your teenagers and every time there's always tension, tell another adult to help you. That adult you must trust, either your auntie or family friends, that they may be able to offer support in a person. Another one is you need to try to diffuse heated arguments. What do I mean? Arguing with your teenager rarely produces a positive outcome, and being angry during a discussion usually ends up in heated argument and produces no or undesired outcome. So why argue with your teenagers? What can you do? The first one is you need to avoid starting that argument. Try to ignore little things like shrugs, or if your teenagers are rolling their eyes, just leave them. Another one is avoid nagging your teenager. Stop complaining all the time. Stop saying the same thing all over again. They will not even listen. They will not listen. And this can increase your frustration as a parent. The third one is if the argument is between siblings, call the two teenagers or the two children to voice out their problems. Look at what the conflict is about and encourage them to resolve the argument or compromise on their own before stepping in. The fourth point is to diffuse heated arguments rather than provoking or worsening the situation. For example, you can listen to their opinion, allow your teenagers to speak uninterrupted. And what is the last thing? Try to find solution to their problem. And also to avoid heated arguments, you need to stay calm always as a parent or a caregiver. If your child reacts negatively, these will help you to reduce the tension in an argument by using humor to change the tone of an argument. Don't make jest of them. Don't be sarcastic. Don't use sarcastic languages. If you do so, your teenagers will find it difficult to be close to you. And if the argument is much, you can't control it, you can walk away as a parent, then later you call back for the discussion. Because teenagers are more likely to be reasonable and respond positively in a calm discussion.